Dustin doesn't never listen to me. Never listens to me. Never fucking listens to me. Did you go live on Instagram? I said, remember, we have to hit the go live on Instagram afterwards. Those were my effing words to Dustin. Welcome, everybody, to Age of Radio, Mercury. I am so happy to be here with this black screen behind me. And we got Trey down in his mother's basement. No, Jesus. Trey, where do you live at?
I own this house, dude.
I know. Trey lives in his own basement. I want everybody to get that clear. But you're watching Mercury, your home for podcasting, other pop culture news. And I'm really excited today because we are testing out a brand new podcast studio space. Not for Age of Radio Mercury, though. Well, sometimes for Age of Radio Mercury, but for a new project that we are working with for the 3T Warrior Academy. So before we get started, I want to talk to Trey a little bit about what he has going on. But we have a jammed-packed news show for you today. There is all kinds of amazing stuff. The one that I'm really excited about is that Warner Brothers Discovery signed a merger agreement with Paramount Skydance. So literally Skydance and Paramount is going to literally own everything. So I'm really excited to get Trey's take on that. We also we have everything announced during the March Nintendo Indie World Showcase. We have cheaper Audible for podcast lovers, and we have a bunch of other great news. So you guys want to make sure that you are staying because we have so much stuff in store. And I'm trying to get used to actually talking now because I don't have to run anything. And so this is going to be a little bit weird about how we're going to be doing this. But we're going to be doing this live stream on the 3T Warrior Academy for a new project that's coming out soon that I'm not going to talk about, but make sure that if you don't follow the 3T Warrior Academy, go and follow it right now on YouTube because there's something special in the works. So I want you to all go over there and subscribe and to be a part of it. But we're still going to be doing Mercury. We're going to be doing it live from my disgusting bedroom, and we're going to be doing it live from Trey's nice basement that he owns, not in his grandmother's house, because that was the complete wrong misconception. So Trey, I'm sorry. But before Trey, we talk a little bit more to you. We have added a new little cool segment for when we're live here in the studio. We've added the Dustin cam.
The Dustin cam.
What's happening over here? Stupid freaking piece of crap. Good Lord. Okay, hold on.
It's working for me.
The Dustin, yeah, it's working in favor of Dustin. We also have a new production guy that's going to be helping us out when we do these. His name's Demond. Are we calling him D?
Demond, calling him D.
Can we call him Baby D? Because isn't that what we call Deb?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I think a black man whose name's Demond, who goes by D, would like to be. I guess you're right. Baby D does sound like he's a female.
Yep, middle-aged white female.
Yeah, middle-aged white female. Baby D. Okay, so Dustin, what happened to the Dustin cam?
Not sure. That's on your end.
All right, hold on. Everyone hold your horses. I'm going to figure out what happened with the Dustin cam. While I do that, Trey, let me know how your week's going. What have you been up to? And you have some really cool news for us.
Yes, I'm so excited. So I'm releasing an app called Scriptate, Scriptate. It's going into public beta very soon. I'm going to be, if you guys are interested, check out my socials. And Jeremy, I'm going to probably be sending you a link first off so that you or anybody you know who might be able to use the app can actually use it and test it and see if they like it. I built it for visually impaired people, but it could also help for people who just have a hard time reading a teleprompter or have like dyslexia or anything like that. Like anything that is in that realm, you know, who uses stuff like that.
Would I be so when you say visually impaired, I mean that's probably a term that means some certain amount of, like, I guess certain amount of blindness. Is that correct?
So yeah, anyone, like, it's, yeah, like not entirely, like it's a huge spectrum, but yeah, a certain amount of blindness for sure.
Well, the reason why I'm asking is because I can't see for shit. And so would I be considered, like, if I didn't have my contacts in right now, I would have no idea what was going on. Is that considered visually impaired in that capacity?
So usually it's implied to people who can't drive or stuff like that, but I don't know for sure. Like I don't know the lingo that well.
There's people that don't want to drive with me because I'm a bad driver. Because that's Dustin. Dustin, in fact, real quick, Dustin, tell us about the time. In fact, because I fixed the Dustin cam, and then we'll spend more time on Trey. But Dustin, tell them about the time that we went to Las Vegas. What did, like, your wife keeps track of you like at all times, right? On some like kind of app to know where you're at.
She tracks me on Live 360.
What is Live 360? There's the Dustin cam. Look, it's working.
Live 360. And then when she looked at it when we were driving to Las Vegas, it showed that we were in a race car going about 90 miles an hour.
Because we were going like 100 miles an hour. And the great news about that is, as long as everything goes correctly and right, we will be going to XRP Las Vegas here soon, but we'll be doing it in a van. And we'll be going 100 miles an hour down the interstate in a white van.
I think I should drive.
Ooh, that would be even better. Drive the white van. I'm really excited about this. Okay, now that we got the Dustin cam working, so we're gonna have the D/Dustin cam moving forward when we do these. So I'm excited about that new shtick. I'm all about shticks. So Trey, this is obviously your show as well. So Trey, I want you to take some time, talk a little bit more about the app. So you're giving me, it's for visually impaired people. What does it do?
So it's for content creators, public speakers, anybody who has like a script that they're going off of. And it uses, did you ever take public speaking class in college?
I did. I was horrible at it because I always went on side rants while I was talking.
That sounds about right. I would be the same way. So one of the things they teach you in that class is to write down like little clues, like 2 to 5 word examples to say what you're saying so that you remember what you actually want to talk about at that point. This does that. It takes your script, it makes little 2 to 5 word cues, which is either Apple Intelligence will generate it for you, or it'll do like the first 5 words. And then you can, like, it will read it to you. So you can have your script cues for your script read to you instead of having to rely on a teleprompter.
That's awesome. What made you think of that? Being visually impaired?
Being visually impaired, yeah.
Oh, it's like a solve for you, which is where like the best software comes from. And I think that Rich Black Pro is actually D. Is that true, Dustin?
Yeah, it is. That's why he said no baby D.
Oh, no baby D.
Yep.
And then Josh yelled at me and said something. Wait, who said read the chat? Oh, that was Josh. Okay, hold on, Josh. I'm fine with you yelling at me about reading the effing chat, but I have never seen you in this show ever before this moment in time, which means that the only reason why you're here is because we're testing out the equipment. Okay, I am here now. Am I not? Okay, yeah, that's true. You are here.
Hit him with the poetry. I think he's referring to the meta chat that we have where Jessica was telling us to remember the comments.
Yeah. Oh, well, no. Okay, well, no, that's fair. We always have to remember the comments. The thing is, I'm not 100% driving this by myself. I try to put the comments up here on the screen now because Jinx is always yelling about the comments being up there.
Oh, that's what she was referring to. Got it.
Yeah, or no, she's always about the comments. She cares about the people that are talking to us. Anyway, Trey, okay, when can I try this out? I'm gonna use it. I want to use your app. How do we test it? Hey, Trey, I met these people at the Talking Library at Arizona. Would this be something that they would be interested in?
Maybe if they do scripting, I'm not entirely sure. I'm hoping that it's in review right now, or it's waiting for review. I'm hoping by next Mercury, I will have a link that we can put on one of our fancy QR codes or send to everybody so that everybody can give it a shot. But I will probably earlier than that be sending you a link.
Okay, perfect. I can't wait for that. And guys, just so you guys know, you can go find Creator Trey everywhere on social media, and you can be up to date on these. He also has a Substack. He has an amazing Substack that he does that I'm supposed to be writing an article with him. And I haven't done any writing of the article or research because I've been focusing on building this podcast studio. So I just want to guys give you a little bit of a rundown of the podcast studio because I think it's kind of cool, especially from a content creator standpoint. First thing is we have multiple cameras. So our genius team, Josh and Dustin, they put a hanging camera right over here, and someone ran right into it. And then we were like, okay, we need to raise those cameras up or we're going to kill guests when they come in. So then they raised all the cameras properly, but then they were too high. So there was no way to actually look directly into the camera when you're talking. So we had to adjust some of that, which I'm kind of excited about. So I'm going to give you like a little rundown here. So over here we have a hanging camera if the con cam works, and it doesn't work because okay, now it works. I figured it out. Okay, so the Dustin cam. Okay, so we have a hanging camera right here. I'm excited about that. And then we have this camera over here. And then there's Dustin, or where Rich Black is going to be. Love that. I'm going to have to bring, when Dee does Mercury with us, we're going to have to find out how he came up with that, what is that, a handle? Look at how Dustin's looking at everybody. That's a weird, crazy look. I think we should stop.
I think I talked to him about it. It's because Rich Black is technically a color. So when you're color grading video, you want to hit that Rich Black color so the blacks are actually black, if that makes sense.
Okay, Dee, I just want you to know that Dustin stole all the thunder of you telling the story.
I could be wrong.
He just well, did you have that conversation with him?
Yeah, but I might.
Okay, then how could that?
Because you could use Rich Black in print as well. So I don't remember exactly what he was referring to.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Dustin, I want you to share the. Go ahead and share. I'm gonna take your off screen here. Go ahead and share the podcast table. Chat. All right, so this is the podcast table. You guys can kind of see how fat I am in this shirt. I'm really excited about that. So there's this here. But what's great about this is we can, if we have sponsors. So Duncan, I just want you to realize I drink your coffee every week on this show. So go ahead and make sure that you guys see this. Can you see that, Duncan, or is the okay right there? All right. Mercury's brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know anything else about how that read would be. Trey, do you have anything about Dunkin' Donuts?
Nope. I don't even think I've been in one.
Never been in a Dunkin' Donuts? It's the second best coffee on the planet. And Dustin Dustin, you guys have like Dunkin' Donuts all over Massachusetts, right?
Oh yeah, that's the staple in the East Coast.
Yeah, I love it. Love the East Coast. You can find a Dunkin' Donuts. They're like Starbucks over here, and their coffee tastes less watered down than Starbucks water. Anyway, so what's really cool about this is where we're going to be putting the news articles here in a moment, but you guys are going to be seeing them on the screen when we talk about the news. But before we talk about that, I want to talk about this little table here, because this table cost a ridiculous amount of money, and then we had to import it from the United Kingdom. And I'm not going to say what the price was, but it was definitely not worth the price and the time and the energy that it took to get here. But it does raise up and down. So,
well, about that hasn't worked in quite some time because the power source will not work. So it does not raise up.
Oh, no.
All right, well, then get off the table. Then I'm even angrier at the table, and the table means nothing to me. All right, guys, but the point is that we got something really exciting planned from the 3T Warrior Academy. So go check out 3T Warrior Academy on YouTube. Make sure that you like and subscribe to it, and you'll know when we launch this exciting new project that we've been working on. And again, this is a test for that, but we didn't want to test on the 3T Warrior Academy YouTube page. So we're doing all the stupid stuff on the Mercury by Age of Radio page. But more importantly, it's because we got a lot of great news coming out. So before we go to the news, though, I want to let everybody know that we're going to be at Game On Expo on March 14th, 15th, and 16th. We are going to have a 10 by 20 foot booth. We're going to be playing live Mario Kart. Well, maybe not live Mario Kart. We're going to be playing Mario Kart on the Switch 2. We're going to be having competitions. We're going to find our old friends, Convention Foam Fighting. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it means you haven't been watching us long enough. But Convention Foam Fighting, we are all about foam on this show. I'm still looking and working on trying to get a chemist to come in and do fun foam projects. Don't forget, I have an assistant now. That's one of the top things that my assistant is doing, is looking for things related to foam and science for foam-related stuff. Cannot tell you how much we love foam. I would even say, to see how much Dustin is paying attention, I would even say that is amazing. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Amazing's in here. Amazing's in here. That's crazy talk. Trey, are you going to be joining us in Game On Expo?
If you'd like me to join for like the entrance or something like that, I can hop on with you.
Yeah, so I think that I've spent about 10 hours trying to re-strategize how we make our live events go live when we're at the conferences. And I think that I'm at a point now where we will not have so many fuck-ups that we cannot have you come in live like planned. So I think I'm going to have you come in and join because me and Dustin have been really planning this and working on it. And I think we got rid of a lot of the kinks. So because of that, I think that we can do it. But if you guys don't know what Game On Expo is, here's a little clip that they were kind enough to send over to me. So guys, check this out. All right, guys, that was Game On Expo. I am super excited. I'm also super excited because Dustin taught me about a new way how to play those in the stream. So those video clips are going to get even better as we get better. And I think I might have convinced Dustin to do this with us every Friday live at his house or from here.
I'm enjoying it a little more than I thought I would.
Of course you are, because doing live content stuff is the funnest thing ever. It's like the most fun coming out here and talking to these 14 people that are all our friends. In fact, most of these people aren't even here. Like Josh has never been on here before.
It's more people than we get for our Age of Radio walkarounds.
Age of Radio walkarounds get a lot of people.
Not live in the moment.
Okay, well, on demand they get the most. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to be at Game On Expo. We're going to be interviewing people from Arizona Cosplay. Like I said, we're going to be giving away some great prizes. We're going to be playing some Mario Kart on the Nintendo Switch 2. We might try to do a Street Fighter 6 competition. I'm still working that out, trying to find that out. And the great thing is we've added multiple camera angles this year. So we're taking a lot of the live events to the next level. But with that, Trey, I haven't heard from you in a little bit. How are you doing? You still doing good?
I'm doing fantastic. Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to move to some news articles. Breaking news, Warner Brothers Discovery signs merger agreement with Paramount Skydance. Warner Brothers Discovery on Friday formally signed an agreement to be acquired by Paramount Skydance. The two companies announced, setting the stage for one of the most consequential media mergers in recent history. And Dustin, that is your cue to throw the news articles up on the television screen and share them to the audience. What? No, you have to pull. Are you streaming in this tab? You got to pull it out. You got to pull out, buddy. You got to pull the stream out, and then you should be able to share to the other one. I like how we're always the guinea pigs. Oh, so you do have to in Google then. We have to take a note of that. All right, well, going back to the old way of doing things, let me share it. Oh my God. You can't share them on the screen though. I thought you said you couldn't. Oh, I see. So the sound will be weird. Trey, we might have some weird sound. But anyways, the deal was linked just a day after Netflix abruptly announced it was pulling out of the bidding war. It's just some really fun little pull. They pulled out of the bidding war. There's a lot of innuendos here in this article. Well, things that I'm saying and in this article. Discovery Studio and streaming assets effectively closing the curtains on a corporate battle that had riveted Hollywood. Paramount Skydance offered $31 a share, values WBD at roughly $77 billion, and includes the Warner Brothers Film Studio, the HBO Max streaming platform, and a portfolio of cable channels, including CNN's Netflix including CNN. Netflix's proposal did not include the cable assets. The takeover bid, factoring in WBD's debt load, comes to a grand total of more than $110 billion. But more importantly, what I want to talk about is the fact that essentially Paramount, who is owned by one of the richest families in the world after a deal that just took place between Paramount and Skydance, the Ellisons own most of all of the media companies vis-a-vis Paramount, and this is essentially pulling everything together under an Ellison umbrella, and that's where I want to have my conversation. Trey, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't think it's great. I think that we definitely want as many big names to be out of media as we can. Like, not to have everything under one big umbrella, but this is where, unfortunately, the industry has been going for the past couple years. What?
No, yeah, I just agreed with you.
So I'm curious on your thoughts on this, though. Do you think that they will have Paramount and HBO Max, because they're getting HBO Max as part of this, if I'm understanding correctly? Do you think that they will go with rolling Max into Paramount, Paramount into Max, or do you think they'll keep them separate?
I think that they will keep them separate. Well, I don't know. My initial thought process is that they're separate brands that offer different types of content. So if they blur all of that content, then it might as well just make sense to raise the price of Paramount and roll it into Paramount. Like, we're just going to have, because we would have a very large subscription. We would just have a very, very large subscription cost for all of these media companies being in one streaming platform.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where I could actually see them doing separate just because it is. Because right now, how much is Max? It's like $15 or something like that.
I would imagine. All I know is I pay hundreds of dollars for streaming services a month, and I own all of them. And it causes me great strife in the middle of the night when I'm trying to sleep.
Yikes.
Jeremy hates the Ellisons because they are friends with Trump. That's not 100% true. I hate all people. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Rich Black said, can't wait to see what that merger brings us in the theaters and streaming platforms. I mean, that's very true. But I do think my feeling is that it is from a content standpoint of all being on one streaming platform, I'm a fan of. What I'm not a fan of, whether it's left or right, and hating Trump, not hating Trump, I don't think that and again, this was true when it was all owned by large liberal companies. So I'm against both sides of it. I do think news has to be the most biased as possible. And now there is a CNN is now going to be the first time, from my understanding, being owned by more of a right-leaning company. So or ownership from like the head ownership. So I'm curious to see where the news aspect of CNN goes from this standpoint. Not saying that it's been biased it has not been biased in the past with left-leaning stuff. It's just that I would really hope that there's a strong push for news companies and news media to be as unbiased as possible.
I can see that for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, moving on. In some other breaking news, everything announced during the March Nintendo Indie World Showcase. This is where I don't know how our, sharing of the content is going to work out. And I've just lost everyone on my screen. Is that a true story for what's happening over there?
No, I'm still seeing everything.
Fantastic.
Could be wrong.
It's working right over there. Great, Dustin. I'm really proud of you. Nintendo hosted an Indie World Showcase this morning and was this morning, Trey, or was this another morning? March 3rd?
I think this was Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, because I was doing all of the setup for this podcast studio, I did not read any of the articles, which is usually what Trey ends up doing, not reading any of the articles, even though he finds them.
I do find. I also have been. What's that?
No, go ahead, Trey.
I just said I don't. It's not it's an excuse. It shouldn't be an excuse. I also was very busy this week.
Oh, because of your app that you're launching? I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Okay. everything announced during today's Nintendo Indie World Showcase. We have, it looks like it was jam-packed with announcements. There's a lot to go over. It showcases highlighted 12 games alongside 6 more in a quick but exciting montage. So let's see what we have here. It's not even up on the screen. I don't know what I'm doing with Dustin. I don't see it up on this screen. Is that not going to be possible
It's
anymore?
up.
No, I have a big screen. Show them the big screen, Dustin. Big screen me.
Oh.
I'm talking about that big screen is where I want to see it. So I can do that whole Joe Rogan thing where he's like, what's Joe Rogan's producer's name? Josh, you watch Joe Rogan. What's the producer's names? Is it Jeeves? All right, because I can be like, Dustin, pull up this article. And you know how Joe Rogan does the thing where he's like, that's what he's doing. He's looking at this big giant TV. Joey, his name's, I knew Josh would know it. It was Joey. It was Joey. Trey, do you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast at all?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, back to video games. We got a bunch of video games here. Trey, did you have a chance? Do you know any of these video games? We got Dinch Attack. We got My Little Puppy. Let's watch that one. Let's watch My Little Puppy. That looks so cute. Make it big. Make it big, Dustin.
Full screen.
Make it bigger. I'm so excited for how big this is. I know. I'm really excited about it not playing. Who the hell's Joey then, Josh? Okay, it's Jamie. All right, well, I guess we're not going to watch this. I guess nothing works ever. All right, well, this looked like a cute little fun game. You could play as Bongu, a Welsh corgi who has crossed over the Rainbow Bridge after waiting for an eternity. He had to wait for an eternity? He picks up the sin of his owner and goes on an adventure to find him in the afterlife. That is so sad. That's so sad. Okay, Dustin, try to play it again. Oh, I know why. Dustin, your audio is probably not going to the right place on the actual Microsoft because it happens to me. I don't know. I'm going to play it. Let me play it. Hold on. Everybody, Trey, tell people about stuff. I'll be right back. I'm going to put you front and center. It'll be great.
Okay, well, while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the Discord. If you guys are not part of the Age of Radio Discord, you can go to, I believe, discord.com/Age of Radio to join. We do trivia questions. Last week's, I did not get a trivia question out this week, but last week, Therma was the one who won the trivia. And there's all sorts of fun stuff like the anime roundtable, which Jeremy and I might talk about a little bit later. We'll see if we have time. And then we have monthly gaming stuff. Also, if you are on X, make sure to join us on X on the 19th when we talk about the Samsung Galaxy S reveal and the Apple event that happened just this week, which I am very excited about. And I hope you got something now, Jeremy, because I am all out.
Putting you on the spot, Trey. Oh my gosh, it switched me. I'm going to switch me back over here. Oh no. Okay. All right. Trey, what happened at the Apple event? They released it. Real quick, I want to touch on this. I know the show's all over the place today because we don't know what we're doing. Apple's releasing like a Neo Mac.
Yes, they are. A cheap $600 MacBook.
That guy goes against everything that Steve Jobs was about.
And it also goes against their advertising, but that's something we'll have to talk about on the 19th, I think.
See, that's what I'm saying. Mario brought it up because he's always giving me crap about Mac. And he's like, Mac just brought out this really inexpensive Neo. The Neo part looks really cool, and I'm supportive of that. But it just seems like Apple's so behind in innovation that now they're just grasping for different versions of the same thing that they have to make money.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. It could be. Again, 19th.
All right, we'll talk about it on the 19th. Although I think something's happening on the 19th, and I needed to talk to you about that. But we'll figure. Wait, they're doing something on the 19th, or we're talking about it on the 19th. It's at the spaces, right?
That's the X spaces, yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that at the X spaces. Trey just talked about that, but I was trying to fix the problem with Dustin, which we didn't fix, but we solved the problem. So, Dustin, bring back the cute little puppy that's trying to get its owner that died. No. That is the saddest video game looking of all time, and absolutely adorable. Absolutely.
Also, ooh, bad echo. I'll just try and stop while we got the window open.
Oh, that's right, because we're on edge, huh? Yeah, it's going to have a really bad echo. Why is the video so blurry? I wish I knew why the video was so blurry, Dustin. Looked good on our end. Trey, how did the video look on your end?
Looked great on my end. Also, the echo's gone. Thank goodness.
Thank God. It was because I think the video finally stopped. All right, let's see what other things we have. Dustin, move it down. Move it down the thing.
Let me know. So that reminded me of Dog's Life. If anybody remembers that obscure PS2 game.
Yeah, I remember that. It does remind me of that. All right, Trey, what are some of these other ones you want? This is Woody, assemble wooden scene piece by piece like a coloring book and watch them come to life with color and animation as you play them. You want to see that one?
Sure, if you'd like to.
Sure. I think Nintendo's doing a good job with indie games.
Hello. We're the team behind Widow. Do you remember a time when your backyard and neighborhood streets felt like the entire world?
No.
Хоть мы выросли в разных местах, нас объединяет одно общее чувство.
Это Фокси, сердце нашей истории, и она так-то собрала нас вместе.
Denn auch wenn wir erwachsen sind, ist diese Magie aus unserer Kindheit nie verschwunden.
These are different languages.
So from all of us here, we hope you enjoy the game. Thanks.
Wouldn't it be nice just to slow down and get back to when things were simpler?
Ah, it sure would.
Well, in Widow, you do just that. In this cozy diorama puzzle game, you assemble wooden scenes piece by piece, like a 3D coloring book.
As you place objects in their correct spots, each scene slowly fills with color and comes to life, revealing charming animations and delightful surprises.
Follow the story of Foxy the Fox and Ben the Frog through a series of interconnected dioramas, each capturing a unique moment from their shared adventure.
The game adapts to your pace, while the narrator's voice keeps you company. Plus, plenty of funny characters and silly emotes are sure to put a smile on your face.
And mouse controls are also supported on Nintendo Switch 2. Settle into a world that comes together one piece at a time in Widow, slotting onto the Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch systems this summer.
That one actually looks pretty cool. I don't mind that one.
It definitely does. I think that might be also coming to mobile because it seems like it would be a really good mobile concept.
Oh, there's some really cool ones down here too. We got Mini Shoot. Find Mini Shoot, Destin. Originally released in 2024, this modern twin stick shooter is finally available on Switch 2. There's also this one down here called Rotwood. The 2.5D side-scrolling brawler comes from Cly Entertainment, the studio behind the Don't Starve series, which I think I know some people that play Don't Starve, and this launches on Switch 2. You know, let's take a look at this one, Dustin, and then we'll move on.
Rated everyone 10 and up.
That one looks really cool. Trey, I know you hadn't had a chance to look at any of these, but are there any games that you're looking forward to? Not here, but in general.
Not really at the moment. Yeah, not really at the moment. There's a lot of stuff going on, but not that I'm sure there is. I'm just not thinking of it right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, let's get into some podcasting news. Cheaper Audible for podcast lovers. Trey, you use Audible, correct?
I do.
Yep, I used Audible, and actually I'm really excited about using Audible more than I thought that I would. I actually started listening to a lot of more like I don't want to say this because I don't want to be arrogant, so I don't know the best way to say this, but like books where I can like listen to just for like main content where I don't have to deep think about stuff. Does that make sense? So like there's some books that I just want to have as background where I don't have to be like 100% tuned into it, but I can get the gist of the content and what it's about for like informational purposes. Where I wouldn't spend like, I don't know, I wouldn't go and read like, I don't know, maybe I would do Anna Karenina. It's one of my favorite books. Anyway, not important. Trey, are you listening to anything on Audible right now?
The Harry Potter full cast series, which is...
What is that? Everybody from the episodes that like people like the actors are reading it?
It's not related to the HBO series, but Audible put together a full cast rendition of the Harry Potter books on Audible, so that you get to hear like some of the sounds in the books. It's really cool, honestly. Although Harry Potter is a bit of an iffy thing on the internet.
Yeah, I know. Lots of people are anti-Harry Potter these days. I just look, if you like something, you like it, and just be happy that you enjoy it and that stuff is out there for you. But unless you're one of your friends uses your arch nemesis's word, Spotify, hell's wrong with you, William? Why would you use Spotify? You know that's a 4-letter word in this freaking podcast. Come on. Listening to Witcher. Is that the book The Witcher? I keep forgetting it's a book first. All right. Well, again, Audible has a new lower priced subscription offering for people who really like podcasts. The $8.99 standard plan gives users unlimited access to Audible originals, as well as nearly 200 shows previously available on Wondery Plus. So a lot of you who are out there, you may not know that Wondery, it was purchased by Amazon many, many years ago during the podcast purchasing extravaganza that happened, I think I want to say like 2020, 2021, 2022, and they have Wondery Plus. So you also get access to one audiobook a month. This is going to replace Wondery Plus, which has been announced to be closing in the coming months. Not all of those shows are making it to Audible. If you are interested in the Audible standard plan for the next week or so, you can get it for $5.99 a month for the first year by going through the Wondery Plus website. So again, things that were on Wondery Plus are now moving over to Audible. And I guess this kind of goes back to what you were saying, Trey. This is an instance where a company bought up another company and then they integrated it into their similar service, kind of like with the Paramount situation. Like Paramount would purchase HBO and then they would move HBO inside of the Paramount umbrella and then stream everything out. So I don't know. Maybe in the coming years, if they don't find that the revenue's there, they'll do something like this, where they're essentially getting rid of Wondery, and then they're moving it into Audible, which I think is kind of sad, especially for the shows that are going away.
So this kind of I don't know much about Wondery. I think this could be a good deal for the people who are already subscribed, although I don't know how many that was. But this kind of confuses me, and I don't know if it's because of the way they phrased it or what. And usually I pay for Audible. I pay $15 a month, and that gets me unlimited access to Audible Originals and a credit. This sounds like you get Audible Originals, Wondery podcasts, and a credit, and it's about half as much as the normal thing.
Correct. So this is $8.99 standard plan, gives you the unlimited access to Audible Originals, and then 200 shows previously available on Wondery Plus, and then you also get the audiobook credit a month, because that's what the credit is, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just don't understand how that works. Maybe it's an introductory offer. I could see that.
Let me see. Okay, here actually touches point on this in the article. Amazon's choice is a bit Jesus Christ, what's that word? Dustin? Bewildering. Without looking at it. Yeah. All right. Amazon's choice is a bit bewildering. For $11.99 a month, Amazon Music Unlimited subscribers get access to one free audiobook from Audible each month, but no Audible original podcast. Or Audible's Premium Plus is $14.95 a month, which gives one credit a month for an audiobook, i.e. one audiobook a month, though these credits only expire after 12 months, but no music, and you can buy a different plan, still called Audible's Premium Plus plan, for $22.95 a month, which gives you 2 credits a month. So it looks like, and then they make this note here, Spotify also offers audiobooks for $9.99 a month. My guess is that they're going to go to this $8.99 plan, look at how the pricing and the usage works, and then my guess is they're going to restructure their pricing plans in general.
Yeah, because I currently have the premium or the $14.95 plan.
Yeah, so Dustin's paying like almost twice that much money.
I know, for one credit.
All right, Amazon, if you're out there, what email do you use with your Amazon Plus? Your Amazon Plus?
My secrets.
Okay, well, if we could, we'll get Dustin's email and we'll post it all over online. And then if there's any opportunity to make sure that he keeps paying more, we'll continue to do that. All right, in other pod news, build your own podcast. Coloroga Shark Media rolls out an AI story engine. Coloroga Shark Media, the audio company that has been leveraging artificial intelligence to fast track the release of podcasts, many focused on the British royal family, is okay. So if AI is being used to like talk about the British royal family, I think we could all be in agreement that that's a good use of AI technology.
I'm kind of confused. Where do you get your logic is confusing me, sir?
Which logic? If they're making fun of the British royal family, I think all AI should be doing that. No?
Oh, okay. I see a little bit more what you're saying now. So it sounded to me like you were saying, as long as they're making content about the British royal family, doesn't matter what that content is, that's a good use of AI.
I think that is a good use of AI, especially if it's funny-focused AI content. But anyways, it has released Podbots. So Podbots is now a thing out in the world, described as a first-of-its-kind podcast story generator that allows listeners to determine where a story goes. Oh, so it's essentially like make your own book, like you follow your own adventure, but you're making your own adventure? Users will be able to customize every detail from genre and theme to character names and personalities. And Podbots uses Anthropic's AI platform Claude to create a fully original story tailored specifically to them. It is then turned into an audio podcast. And here is a quote: "We wanted to create something fun for our listeners, a podcast made just for them," Mark Francis, co-founder of Calorogus Shark Media and Podbots, says in the announcement. The tool offers 6 story themes, including romance, horror, murder, mystery, science fiction, Western, and children's stories. Each offers 6 distinct genre variations. Once a user makes their selection, the story that is turned into a podcast advanced text-to-speech technology with more than 20 voice options available. Caloroga says the finished product will be delivered within minutes, and each one-of-a-kind story can be saved and kept forever. So, Trey, is this the downfall of people doing their own podcasts?
I don't think so. This is a thing where I actually think that this is a gimmick, frankly. Like, it's a really cool idea, for sure. But frankly, you can have ChatGPT write you up a story. You can have 11 Labs turn that story into a podcast, and it does the same thing. And 11 Labs has a lot more voices for you. I don't think that anyone is going to get into those because, as we've discussed, the biggest driver for a podcast is the people behind it. People don't listen. And this is just my opinion. There may be data that disproves this, but people don't listen to podcasts just for information so much. They listen to them for the people behind them. What do you think? Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, I just realized that we have a studio chat. I'm going to move over a little bit. Nope, I need to move over this way. Someone told me I need to move over. I don't know who that was. Was that, it says Jeremy said to Jeremy, lean a bit to your right so you are centered. And now I'm centered in the shot. Dustin, can you go to the comment studio chat and grab that podbots.com right there? All right, so create your own podcast in minutes. Choose the theme below. Answer a few questions, and we'll write. Yeah, I mean, I get what I agree with you, Trey. Dustin, can you play around on this website and throw it up for the people to see? I get what you're saying. That's the wrong thing altogether, Dustin. And I said, Trey, throw that up. Maybe it might have been me.
You got to give me a second to get it there.
Okay, that's what Deb says. Or you say to Deb, one of those two things happens.
Either one works.
All right, either one of those works. Okay, so Trey, to your point though, I agree with you. I mean, to be honest, like we get the more and more of these that we do, like we were getting up there in the 50s and 60s of viewers during these lives. This show is a shit show, like all of the time. Like there would be no logical reason for someone to sit down and watch this show unless they had liked watching us be stupid and mess things up. And that's the entertaining aspect of the thing that we're doing, not necessarily always the content that we're talking about specifically on this show that's been growing it over the years and more people getting to know us. So to that point, I think that you're right. You know, just like when we launch, you know, a new project that we're going to be launching here soon for 3T Warrior Academy, people are going to be watching that because of the people. They're not going to really be, you know, they'll probably get a lot of good information about it. There's probably some really good information in that, especially since it's more informational than entertaining like this. But I think that you're right. As we've discussed in the past, the reason people choose to listen to people is because of the fact that it's the content creators that they enjoy, and that's the reason why they're going after it. And you lose that with things like this. So for a gimmick standpoint of us maybe talking about it, maybe even making a podcast this way, it might be beneficial, but I think that you're right. It's more of a gimmicky thing. And I don't think that we're ever going to lose the personal fun touch of humans watching other humans do something that is entertaining to them, or listening to them, learning from them. What else? Dustin, can you scroll down this a little bit? How it works: pick a theme and customize your $6. AI writes your personalized story. Listen with professional narration. All right, well, I got to spend $6 because StreamYard billed me $500 because they thought that we needed a business plan. To be honest, they probably sent me a notification somewhere and I just didn't read it and didn't opt out of it. And then they just charged me $500. But that's outrageous, StreamYard. You guys should be ashamed of yourself. We need more content creator products and services that are less money so people can make a profit and do what they love for a living, for the love of God. Pod Digital Media taps One Venture Group to link podcasts with major live events. I've moved on, Dustin. Pod Digital Media has already been moving beyond selling advertising on podcasts and into live events and experiential marketing. It is now looking to expand that arm of the business with a new multi-year partnership with One Venture Group. One Venture Group is a boutique agency specializing in experiential marketing. Under their alliance, PDM reminds me of PDA, and One Venture will work together to connect podcasts and live events for brands looking to reach their engaged audiences. The partnership will see podcast integrations and creator-led media developed to tie into live events in more than 30 U.S. cities. PDM has already been working in the live space as the multicultural podcast rep firm, hosted events during Art Week Miami for the past several years with a mix of celebrity and art. It brought brands on board, including PepsiCo's cookie and cracker brand Marius Gamasa and Moët. And Hennessy. PDM has also hosted a series of live events under the Talk of the Yard banner at HBCUs, connecting with brands such as Walmart and Nike. So it looks like, from my understanding, Trey, it looks like, I mean, we're going to start seeing a blending of advertisings across live, I mean, essentially all that's happening in this is that Pod Digital Media is now moving to selling advertising into live events from podcasting. Is that like, am I understanding that correctly? And so is that like us going and selling like advertising for our live event that we're doing at Game On Expo for while we're live at Game On Expo? Is that what I'm understanding?
It might be. Honestly, I didn't get that. Like maybe I missed something, but I thought it was more of a thing where it's like, it reminds me of the Super Bowl thing where they did that Pepsi Bear ad, or the Coke Bear. You know, Pepsi did the ad.
Yeah, which was great. The podcast was a little weird and stupid. They could have done a better job on that, but the idea was really good at that.
Right. I think we're going to see a lot more of that stuff moving forward.
Yeah, okay, so they'll work together to connect podcasts and live events for brands looking to reach their engaged audience. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So what they're trying to do, if you guys haven't seen it, was that last week or the week before?
I think that was the week before.
Okay, well, go watch some of our old episodes. If you're watching this on Instagram, go to the YouTube at Mercury and watch some of the old episodes. Coca-Cola did this really cool thing where they had an advertisement that was at the Super Bowl. And then that advertisement concept bled over into a podcast with the Coca-Cola Bear and Theo Vaughn. And it was a Pepsi ad. And it was an anti-Coke ad, so it was a Pepsi ad, correct, Trey? Right? They were making
it was a
yeah. So essentially, the Coke Bear chose Pepsi over Coke, which was hilarious. And then he went on the Theo Vaughn podcast to talk about all of the things that had happened since he started drinking Pepsi. And then he got caught at a concert with another bear drinking a Pepsi product or something, and kind of like making fun of that Coldplay situation with that CEO executive who got caught with his mistress or whatever. And so they did this cross branding, and I think that that's actually a really good place for brands to go. I think that that's a really cool idea, especially for when there is a live event and you're sponsoring that live event, trying to find a podcast that can then take that concept and then expand it inside of a podcast form. So I think that is really cool. Well, what are your thoughts, Trey?
I do. I completely agree with you. I don't have a lot more to say on it. I think that this is going to be something that's a lot more prevalent. People are going to want to take their live events or their movies. I bet you we start seeing this a lot more with movie and video game releases, including, and we kind of do, but kind of in a less mainstream way. Like, imagine the new Assassin's Creed comes out and the actor decides to go on a Theo Vaughn podcast or something like that. Like, I could see stuff like that, but I don't know. Like, I don't know how much further it'll go.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I think that the thing that they did wrong in the Theo Vaughn one And real quick, that was what I like to call prediction time. Oh, it's the wrong one. God damn, we got to take that one off of there. Dustin, remove that other prediction time on there so I stop hitting it. Lord, that's the one we want. And then Dustin, download this and make that less fuzzy. All right, so Trey has a prediction. And then also, Dustin, you know what we need? We need a scoreboard of who's winning in predictions and what the predictions are. Oh, you know what we could do, Trey? Do you know what Poly Market is?
I do know what Poly Market is.
Do you know what Poly Market is, Dustin? Okay, Trey, what we can do, I don't know if Poly Market works this way, but we could go and put in all of our predictions inside of Poly Market, and then maybe we could get people to bet on who is right and wrong in our predictions and get it right.
That would be a really fun idea.
That's what we should 100% do. We're going into the gambling business. Dustin, look that up. That's the main thing that you should be focused on. Everything that we talked about this morning about Merlin and 3T, out the window. Go and don't do that. Okay. All right. That's actually not a bad idea. I'm going to look into that because that would be a really cool add-on shtick to what we're doing here. Trey, do you look at Poly Market on a regular basis?
No, I kind of steer clear of that of a 10-foot pole. I don't like a lot of those. I think it's kind of scummy, but that's just my opinion.
Oh, no, it's hands down completely unethical and should be very scummy. But for our purposes, it's humorous, and so we should really promote it in that specific aspect of it. But gambling, if you have a gambling problem, and I think Dustin knows some people with some gambling problems, I just want you to know there's help out there, and we'll, if you ever need anything, reach out to us at support@ageofradio.com, and we'll get you the support line you need for gambling. And I'm half joking, but I'm not joking because gambling is a serious problem out there, and just want everyone to know that we're watching out for Dustin and looking out for him. I'm going to try to keep the silences going as long as I actually can. But no, I think that would be a really cool idea. But I think that you're right. This is where they got wrong in the Theo Von one, though, is they did the Theo Von podcast with the bear as an advertisement inside of the podcast. I think what would have been cooler is even if they made a 15, because think about it this way. Podcasts go out on threads, right? So a podcast, if it's a real podcast, it's going out on an RSS feed. If you're on YouTube, it's pushing out onto the YouTube. So what's really cool that is a possibility for them, they could have literally pushed a thread out for that podcast episode, was that Theo Von sits down with the Coca-Cola bear. And that would have been the notification that they would have gotten on their phone. And then they go to that and go, oh, cool, I want to listen to that. And then they listen to the actual podcast, right? And that's why more and more people need to work with Age of Radio. Because again, Age of Radio is a podcast company with over 100 podcasts. It's an absolutely free podcast network for anybody who wants to join. We have 6 new shows coming onto the podcast network. Everybody is starting to finally see the value in what we're trying to do at Age of Radio by trying to help content creators succeed and help them distribute, help them grow, and help them monetize their podcast. And if you're a business out there and you're looking for interesting ways and creative ways to monetize, please reach out to us at support@ageofradio.com or at adspace@ageofradio.com, and we would love to have a conversation with you. With that being said, Trey, did you mention anything about Discord? I want to make sure that
I did.
You make fun of. Okay, that's what I thought. William, he did mention something about Discord, and you need to come into the Discord, because for the life of me, if I do one thing before I die, it's making sure that old man William is going to be in that Discord. That's what I want. And you had a really good idea about the Assassin's Creed. That would be really cool. And we do have a really cool video here from Assassin's Creed founder. They gave this to us specifically to us. That's not true. It's in an article. Couldn't even lie that one. Couldn't even do that one straight because it's just not true. Let's play this and see how long it is.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jean Guédon. I've been working on Assassin's Creed for more than a decade, starting with AC1 up to Origins. I've seen this series grow from a bold experiment into something that spans generations of players, immersing them in pivotal moments of history that still resonate today. I know how much this series means to our teams and how much it means to you. I also know how much scrutiny surrounds it, especially lately, I've recently stepped into a new role, overseeing the Assassin's Creed franchise as head of content. And part of that responsibility is making sure we maintain a clear, consistent dialogue about our vision. One that fully embraces the franchise's roots and DNA, while also pushing toward innovation and exciting new experiences for you to discover. Today, we want to give an overview of where we stand and what 2026 is shaping up to look like for Assassin's Creed. It won't answer every question you might have about the future, but we hope it still gives you plenty to be excited about.
Yeah, and they've been going through a lot over a little bit of time. I mean, they sold off some of their franchises. They pulled back on how often they were putting out franchises. They had a bunch of problems with Assassin's Creed Shadows because of the characters. I guess the ethnicity of the characters being in a Japanese game, I guess, and then the gender of one of them as well. So, I mean, it has been a little bit difficult for them, but they did this great breakdown there about where the Assassin's Creed franchise is going, including Hex and Invictus, alongside Black Flag Remake, which Black Flag was one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. Trey, before I get into this article, have you played Assassin's Creed games? Do you like them? I can never remember when we talk about this. My memory's horrible.
So I have played Assassin's Creed. I do like them. I just am never any good at them. Even the later games that have the flippin' visually, the accessibility settings, that's what I was looking for. I just have the hardest time with them, especially because they don't always do a good job of telling you where stuff is on the mini-map, so it just gets super difficult. But that's neither here nor there. Black Flag, though, I wanted to mention, I think that is one of the best received Assassin's Creed games of all time.
Yeah, so that one, and then so Black Flag is amazing. Josh says Origins is fire. And so I haven't played Origins. That's one of the only I haven't played Origins, and I haven't played Valhalla. The Odyssey is fantastic. Shadows is really good. I thought Shadows was really good. The problem is I sit down to play, and then another game comes out, and then I start playing that game, and then no games get played because I work all the time, even though Dustin's trying to get me to play games more and not work all the time. But we have all this cool stuff. So I don't know. I mean, look at all that. Oh, I took down the Dustin cam. I'd show you all the cool stuff again from all of our hard work. But that includes Dustin's hard work too. So I guess it's everybody's hard work. And we need to have fun playing games. But I think that Black Flag's really good. Odyssey's really good. Black Flag is amazing, though. But Assassin's Creed Shadows launched last year on March 20th and turns 1 year old in just a couple of weeks. Good. I can't get my French. Do you have a good French accent, Trey? Can you try a French accent for me?
Could you spell it for me?
It's Guesdon.
Gaston.
Well, that was a good one, Trey. You did really good at that. You know who I wish was here? Jalissa. She speaks French. She's one of those Montreal Frenchies. I mean, she's not really from Montreal. She's from Toronto, but she went to a French school. And he never plays Overwatch anymore, Jinx says. It's because Tuesdays when I work out, because I'm working on a project on Monday night, and I have to keep it. Look, do the fat cam real quick. Show the fat cam. See, I got to get this down more. That's why I work out so much. See? All right, get off the fat cam. All right. Oh, yeah, Josh is a Frenchie. Josh, how do you say that in French? Josh.
Gaston.
Josh, I need you to call us. Call us on the phone. Call Josh. Where's Josh? Here, Josh, we could try. Oh, you know what, Trey? This would be the perfect time to test the phone.
Oh,
yeah,
it would be.
Dustin, we need it. You got a USB-C to phone jack? USB-C to phone? Yeah. See the port on there. Hold on. Trey, entertain people. I'll be right back.
I'm drawing a blank here, guys. I'll do my best. Oh, man. Yeah, it's actually really interesting. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, a lot of people really enjoyed. And I feel like the series hasn't quite hit that high note since. Their ship combat has appeared in a lot of other games, but I don't think that it is like has met that level yet. Jinx says you don't need to be skinny to play Overwatch. So what? Anybody in the chat while I'm working, trying to keep stuff going? What's your favorite Assassin's Creed game? Mine is probably Black Flag. I'm not even gonna lie. Crom, are you saying gas son or gasson or something like that?
Okay, good news, everybody. We figured out how to do the phone calling, but we don't have the correct chord. So I'm going to buy all the chords, and then moving forward, we can call anybody in the chat if they're willing to put their phone number out there for everybody to see into the future to get phone calls. All right, back to the article. So, Trey, it's Gasson?
Gasson, I guess.
All right.
So French is...
I won't talk to you about I love French people. That's all I'm going to say. All right. We need to go more about with Assassin's Creed, Dustin. Assassin's Creed Shadows. Gusson says as the team reaches this anniversary milestone, it is moving Shadows into a final phase of support. We're winding things down with smaller, less frequent updates, but still a few surprises, which I think is what they should be doing. So I'm actually in support of that. Trey, what are your thoughts on that, of not having so many DLCs and having these last so long?
I think that's honestly, people don't want a flippin' game that and some people do. If you're talking about something, Overwatch 2 came out over 10 years ago. But honestly, most people, if they're playing a single player game, they don't want the campaign to last forever. So they want something where they can play it and they can get it done. And it doesn't matter if it's like 20 hours or 120 hours, but they don't want the game to just continue moving and going forever, at least when it comes to single player. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. And so I'm excited for that because then it lets them see. I really want to see one that's in China. I really want to see some that are in China and in Korea. It'd be even cool if you had one in North Korea. I don't even know how you would do that because it would have to be before North Korea was North Korea. So it would probably just be in Korea. And it would just be larger. But point is that I would love to see some of those. And I know that they have, I think it's Jade, which is a mobile version one that's in China, but I don't know. I think they need a big one that's in China and in Korea, especially in Korea because how big Korean is right now. I feel that they're missing out. Is that just me?
I don't know enough, honestly. I mean, it's definitely gaining in popularity, so I could see it. I do need to take just a second. Unless I'm hold on. Unless I'm remembering wrong, Jinx. 2015. So, did I bring up the right comment? I might have put up the wrong comment.
What happened in 2015?
Overwatch. Overwatch 2.
Overwatch 2 came out in 2015, 10 years ago?
Pretty sure, yeah. Might have been 2016. It was in the 2010s for sure.
Jinx is getting old. I'm just kidding. She's going to beat the crap out of me for that later. Okay, so Assassin's Creed Hex. Gusson acknowledges that Ubisoft has shared little about this project, save for a quick teaser clip that teases that it will feature an assassin set during the 17th century of the Holy Roman Empire, which I am kind of excited for, except for when all the Italians hear about that. Like Dustin. I don't know. Johnny, if you're out there, I don't want to hear anything about that. Assassin's Creed 1. All right, Rome. It's associated witch. It's about associated witch trials and hunts. I'm for that. Gusson is actually the creative director for this game and says players should expect a unique, darker narrative-driven Assassin's Creed experience set during a pivotal moment in history. So that one's really cool. I think that would be cool, Trey. So I want to see stuff in Korea, like I mentioned. Jinx says that she wants to see stuff in India and Sri Lanka, which I think would be really cool. Where do you think that they should do one at?
Well, they've already done like a lot of the big ones. Rome is actually a really fun one. I think that's going to be pretty cool, especially if it's going to be like witch trials and something like that. Yeah. Although I have a very here, Dustin, prediction time, please.
He's so behind.
Prediction time.
Well, how'd you do that? You clicked the wrong one. God damn it. You got to click this one that says prediction. No, that's the wrong one also. You deleted the right one. Did you delete one?
Oh, no.
You deleted the wrong freaking one. Oh, my God. You got to get a whipping sound. Although, except for you, we're not going to use the whipping sound when D's the person. Only when Dustin's the person. I think would be the safest bet on that one. D, I hope that you are out there and you still love us. Okay, so Holy Roman Empire, Dustin messed everything up. Now it's time for prediction time with Trey.
Right. So I have a funny feeling that the assassins, especially because of the way the game is set up, are going to be on the side, like they're going to be seen widely as witches inside of the game. I have a funny feeling that it's going to be in the...
Oh, yeah, 100%. I agree with that. This is not a good poly market one.
No. I have a funny feeling that it will be... This will actually be really interesting because the Templars are going to be in the most amount of power, unless I'm getting my times wrong, which I could be based on how much I messed up Overwatch.
Well, I don't know if I guess 17th century... Wait, so you were wrong on Overwatch?
Yeah. The chat was moving too fast for me to bring up, but apparently 2023, according to Jinx.
Oh, yeah, because Overwatch 1 was in 2026. It's all right. Everybody's old. It's just part of life. Gusan says Assassin's Creed codename Invictus is a PvP multiplayer experience led by a team of For Honor veterans at Ubisoft Montreal. He calls Invictus a new approach to multiplayer in the franchise, but it isn't quite what the rumors have suggested. Though Gusan doesn't discuss which rumors he's referring to, the latest rumors point to Invictus being a Fall Guy-like multiplayer party experience with cartoonish visuals, so I don't know what that means. There's also an Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag remake, and then there is also Assassin's Creed live-action Netflix series coming out as well. Trey, are all these in the Discord if people want to go read up on more of these?
Yes, well, this article is for sure. I don't think I went into all of the separate different areas, but this article is on the Discord.
Perfect. And you guys can join our Discord by going to Discord Age Radio. What is it now, Trey? Just go to ageradio.com and up at the corner, click that and you're inside of it. And so just do that.
Yes.
And come and hang out with me and Trey more.
Jeremy, did you like the movie, out of curiosity? The old Assassin's Creed movie?
It was okay. I wasn't for... I mean, it definitely was in the vein of the video games. And it was well acted. I mean, it wasn't anything spectacular. I mean, I did not like it, but I'm not going to go raving to everybody about it.
Yeah, it and Prince of Persia were kind of done a little bit dirty back then.
Yeah, I think like the concept of him going in, I don't think that they spent enough time in the thing that they like in the place, like in the, you know what I mean? It was most of it was here, like in modern day or whatever. I felt
right,
and that was
I agree with you.
My problem with it. All right, Dungeons & Dragons 2026 roadmap reveals new source books, seasons, and spell cards. Whenever this article was released, March 3rd, brings new details on the upcoming slate of releases for the Dungeons & Dragons tabletop game, from upcoming source books and other products to an update on the game's approach to organized play. If the lineup is any indication, there are some big things about ahead for the game in 2026. So let's see, as 2026 continues, I don't know, there's a lot of words here. I don't want to go through all that. Forgotten Realms book. Guide to Ravencroft. Something for $59.99 here. Some spells. Let's see. This is not a well-organized article for me to steal. Let's see here. 2020 continues the theme shifts notably from horror over to magic with the September release of Arcana Unleashed for $49.99, described as the ultimate guide for D&D magic enthusiasts. The book is said to include both high magic character creation options as well as a new approach to magic items that will grow in power with your character. That's actually really cool. That's a function that many DMs have housed rules for years, so it will be interesting to see D&D's new in-rules approach. Like the Ravenloft content, the new magic-themed push also gets some release content, including a new Deadfall Adventure expansion for $29.99, also releasing in September. The adventure focuses on the infamous Red Wizards of Fae. Yes, I love them so much. We have a whole secret society named after them. It's not very secret anymore if I just said it all right. I'm really excited about that. A long-established faction in the Forgotten Realms. This is my favorite faction in the Forgotten Realms. I love the Red Wizards. And for players looking to bring a visual flair to the table spellcasting, August 2026, we'll see the release of decks of D&D spells, monsters, and magic items updated for the 2024 rule set. Trey, we need to play Dungeons & Dragons. First, you need to have anything that you want to add to this, and then let's talk about Dungeons & Dragons in general.
Not anything other than the fact that I would like to play Dungeons and Dragons. That's it.
Well, this is all Dustin's effing fault because actually, you know what? This is Jinx's fault. Jinx has a standing game with Thermo and never invites anybody to it. So I'm shocked and appalled that we haven't been invited to their standing Dungeons and Dragons game. And that's actually not 100% true because Thermo and Sam said that they would make a Dungeons and Dragons game for us to play as a podcast at Silver Dragon, some place here in Arizona. But then Trey can't come in. So we got to figure out how to do a giant D&D game. But more importantly, we get to play, oh, for love of God.
What's going on?
So in a D&D campaign that I have with Dustin, Dustin's character is named Dickin, and Josh's character is named Balls. So like Dickin and Bawls. So together, they're best friends, and their names are Dickin and Balls. And that's, that's the kind of shit that we have to deal with Dustin, and that's why we punish him as much as possible in non-pleasurable ways. Okay, and this is a kids-friendly show. I need to keep reminding everybody of that, mainly myself, because here we are talking about things that are not kid-friendly and or appropriate. But that being said, Trey, I would love to play Dungeons & Dragons with you. My thing is we need to find a DM. If we can find a good dungeon master that can make regular games, I can play games all day long. My time consumption for DMing is where the problem happens.
Right, yeah. You know what, Jeremy? If you ever get the chance and can end up sending me like some of the books and stuff like that so that I can read them as a PDF or something like that, I haven't done it because it's flipping expensive in my opinion. I will do, because I've been thinking about a campaign that's like a series of one-shots, and I would love to do that, like the DMing part for you.
That would be fantastic, Trey. More importantly, well, you know what? There's D&D Beyond. I know we can just get a subscription to that and share the login. Or maybe they have, like StreamYard has, where I get to add one team member, and it's $60. Yeah, StreamYard, I'm coming after you. I'm going to get so big, StreamYard is going to have to lower their prices, specifically for me, using their software. That's how big we're going to get. I just want you all to remember that. All right, Joey I just got Zelda Tears of... Joey's talking about live video games. Joey's not even in the same realm of what we're talking about here. I just got Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and my kids won't let me even play. You just got to beat up your... Has that ever happened to you, Dustin?
With Logan?
No, like, has he ever taken a game? Has he ever taken a game where, like you wanted to play it, and he was all constantly playing it and wouldn't give it to you?
No. Most of the time I get him to play a game, he plays it for 5 minutes, and then he just goes back to like the staples, Fortnite and Roblox.
I see. All right. Dustin, we're going to try to make you as famous as Joey and Jamie. Just want you to know that.
In the shadows.
In the shadows. And hopefully in the future, there's someone else doing a StreamYard, and they're like, Josh, who was that producer that Jeremy had on his show? And Josh is going to say the wrong name first, and then he's going to fix it. Trey, did you ever watch Home Alone?
I love Home Alone. That's such a fun movie.
Did you ever watch what is it? Schitt's Creek? Or it was a Canadian show. I'm trying to talk
Up
about
Schitt's
Canadian.
Creek is what it was called.
What was it called?
Up Schitt's Creek?
With Catherine O'Hara?
Yeah.
Is it in here? Is it just right
Or
here
it
and I'm
was
not
just
watching
Schitt's
it?
Creek, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, anyways, Catherine O'Hara, she was the mom in Home Alone, and she is fantastic. But she passed away recently. I don't remember the exact reason. And Catherine O'Hara, she won a posthumous SAG award. How do you say that word?
Posthumous.
Posthumous SAG-AFTRA Actor Award for the studio. The studio co-creator and star Seth Rogen gave an emotional speech accepting the award on her behalf. Catherine O'Hara, like I said, was in Home Alone. She was in Up Schitt's Creek. She was obviously in the studio. It's an Apple TV show, so of course I didn't watch it because I don't have an Apple TV subscription because I'm boycotting Apple TV subscriptions. It's co-created by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, his partner in crime. Is a madcap satire of modern Hollywood. O'Hara starred as Patty Lay, a former Hollywood studio chief, opposite Seth Rogen's aspiring mogul Matt Remick. O'Hara, best known for her performance in the Christmas classic Home Alone, the mockumentary Best in Show, and the cult hit sitcom Schitt's Creek, which is freaking fantastic, died in January from a blood clot in her lungs as a result of rectal cancer, according to her death certificate. She was only 71 years old. And this is a quote from Seth Rogen. I obviously know you've been reflecting on the time. I think this is from Seth. Hold on. An emotional Rogen accepted the award on her behalf, telling the audience of Hollywood stars, I know she would have been honored to receive the award from fellow performers. I obviously, have been reflecting on the time I was fortunate enough to spend with her, working with her. He said, something I've just been marveling at these past few weeks was really her ability to be generous and kind and gracious while never, ever minimizing her own talents. She knew she could destroy, and she wanted to destroy every day on set. So we'll remember Catherine O'Hara. I can't remember. I think it's O'Hara. But Trey, did you ever watch Schitt's Creek or anything?
I did not watch Schitt's Creek. I've
And
never heard of that show before.
Oh, it's fantastic. Unfortunately, it's a Canadian show because they're all Canadians. And I'll say my favorite Canadian is Catherine O'Hara. Is it pronounced O'Hara or O'Hara? Someone look that up for me and let me know how I'm pronouncing it in case we ever talk about it again. But yeah, it was Schitt's Creek was a Canadian show. I think it was on. You've seen it, right, Dustin?
Episode or two.
Yeah. Anyways, go watch it. O'Hara. Okay, we're going to talk about it. All right, moving on to our last article for this evening. The Brady Bunch house gets historic status in Los Angeles, and let's just go ahead and steal this clip from the Today Show. It'll last 3 minutes long. It'll be great. Let's watch this bad boy. What are they going to talk about for 3 minutes?
Stage, and the exteriors of the house were just used to establish scenes. But that didn't stop a bidding war in 2018, with HGTV buying the ranch for $3.5 million and creating a new show, A Very Brady Renovation. Cast members taking Today on a tour of the construction site.
I literally did not even know where this place was until 1990.
Yeah, most people on the show had never been actually inside this house.
The actors from the Brady Bunch tore down the interiors and helped recreate their TV home, including that staircase. Cast members telling Savannah and Hoda about the renovation turned reunion in 2019.
Now, you were saying, Marcia, that Maureen, that you guys don't get to really get together like this all that often.
Yeah. Right. It's been a really long time since all of us have been back
15
together.
years. Yeah.
Wow. Now there are new owners who opened the house to the public for the first time last fall for limited private tours.
Oh my God! I am freaking in an episode!
A piece of historic Americana that became the star of the show.
That's the way we became the Brady Bunch.
know about you guys, but I always wondered how they packed themselves into that tiny house, that huge family.
Yeah.
Turns out it was a little bit of TV magic, much like this is.
Oh, you can stop it. That's I've had enough of these people. That's why we do our news the old-fashioned way, not knowing what we're doing and then talking about it sporadically for an hour and a half. That's the way I enjoy it. Trey, did you watch the Brady Bunch at all?
I did, but it was so early in life that I barely remember it. Like flashes is all I know.
Yeah, when I used to have to go to my grandmother's house, great grandmother's house, and was babysat because I was raised by a single mom, single mother, and so she had to work all the time, so forth. That's where I got my good hearty work ethic that no one else appreciates around here. Dustin, all right, and so I used to go there, and in the afternoon there was like the Brady Brunch, there was like I Dream of Jeannie, there was like, well, those might have been Nick. I don't know. I feel like the Brady Bunch was part of that, but the reason why I feel blessed for that time was because it introduced me to Get Smart, which is a Mel Brooks show. And Get Smart is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. And I love that show. I know I'm going off topic here from the Brady Bunch, but I just want more people to watch Get Smart by Mel Brooks because it's just a fantastic show. But Brady Bunch, I was never really a big fan of. I thought it was kind of stupid. What I did like was the movies that were made that kind of poked fun at the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch 1 and 2. Jessica, are you still on here? Do you remember those shows? Let me know. Trey, did you ever watch those? They were movies. They were movies that were made in like the 90s of the Brady Bunch that took scenes from the show and put them into like small sections of the movie. But they were like living in the 70s, but they were in the 90s.
If I did, I don't remember it.
Too
young.
Those were actually pretty funny. And Trey, you're not that much younger than me.
I'm not saying anything.
I'm just, yeah, we're going to leave it at that. All right, everybody. Well, Trey, do you have any, before we get into closing thoughts, is there any articles that you want to touch base on that we didn't get to touch base on or any other news?
Nope, that's everything.
All right. Well, again, next week, we're going to be at Game On Expo. I want to give them another shout out. It's going to be the 14th, 15th, and 16th. We're going to have a 10 by 20 foot section. I'll be honest, I don't know how much passes are. I don't know if it mentioned that in the video that we played earlier. But Dustin, hit that video again. And here's a clip of Game On Expo. Oh, my God. All right, guys, you can buy passes at Game On Expo. We're going to be in section 1113. I'm going to have a few hosts with me during that event. We're going to try to stream in Trey. We've never successfully been able to do that at a live event. So I'm really looking forward to how we're going to do that. Not how, we know how to do it. That we're going to do that at this live event. I'm also going to have Chuck part of the day, or the Foul Mouth Heathen. I'm also going to have Joey part of the day from the Geek Collective. And I want to give a shout out to Joey. He was at Arizona Comic and Arts Festival last week. And there were people that actually came to the Arizona Comics and Art Festival to buy the Geek Collective book, I Need Your Skin. So make sure that you go over to geekcollective.com. Is that set up, Dustin? I don't know if that works.
I don't think so.
Okay, everybody go over to geekcollective.net. Does that work?
That's up to Joey.
All right, everybody go over to Geek Collective on Instagram and Facebook and make sure that you follow, because Geek Collective not only makes their own comic books like I Need Your Skin and publishes them and launches them, it is we also help, or Geek Collective also helps with public relations for artists who have an idea. We look at the idea, or Joey does. He takes that idea, he helps them do a Kickstarter for it, and he gets it out the door to help them create their content. And that's what we're trying to do at Age of Radio. Our whole goal at Age of Radio is to help content creators share their stories, whether they're individuals or brands. And we're looking for more ways to do that. and more products and services. And one of those services is not only what Joey does with Geek Collective, but also what we do at Age of Radio. So if you're interested in joining the growing Age of Radio podcast network, I'll show you some of the new podcasts that we have coming on next week. Maybe not, because next week is going to be Game On. So this show will not be happening specifically at this time, because we'll have all kinds of shows going on that Friday at Game On Expo. And we have a lot of stuff in store. We're going to play some games. We're going to talk to some guests. We're going to try to get the girls from Final Fantasy VII. And by girls, I mean the voice actors. I don't mean like there's girls from Final Fantasy VII that are dressed up there that are coming over to the thing. Like, we're looking for voice actors. We're taking our interviewing to the next level. So with that, Trey, any last words and calls to actions for the amazing people that are here?
I don't have much else to say. Check out you can find me just about anywhere at Creator Trey. My Substack is creatortrey.substack.com. I post occasionally there. We look out for a combo between Jeremy and I eventually. And again, come back next week where hopefully I'll have a link ready for you if you're interested in the app. But that's all I got, Jeremy. Back to you.
Absolutely. And I want to throw this up here too. Joey said he just got a message from a fan who loved I Need Your Skin. So go check that out. Go follow Geek Collective on Instagram. Connect with us. You know, even though we're really big stars now and everybody loves us and knows us, I try to think that we're down with the people. So I want to talk to the people at the events. We're all about having fun and being with the people. We don't have big heads, right? We're not going to let stardom go to our heads. Right, Trey?
Right.
Oh, look at that. We added a clap sound. Dang! How are you doing that from Zoom? Okay, well, he's not going to tell me because he has a stream deck over there. All right. And we introduced the Dustin cam, which I took off the screen, but be more for the Dustin and D cam. I'm really excited for where we're taking this in live at the studio once a month, and then again in my dirty bedroom. And Trey owns his own house in Montana, and he's in his own basement. I just want to reiterate that. Guys, I will have a new episode of Age of Jeremy out. I also have a new Age of Jeremy Conversations. I will have a new video with a lovely woman named Lucia, and she makes cookies and bakes cakes. That will be a video coming out in the next couple of weeks on the Age of Jeremy YouTube. So make sure that you check that out. And we're working on all other kinds of on-demand content for not only Age of Jeremy, but also for Mercury. So make sure that you follow Age of Radio everywhere at Age of Radioverse or at Age of Radio, and follow me at Age of Jeremy on Instagram, Age of Jeremy on X, at Age of Jeremy on LinkedIn, because we have so much stuff in store. We are just getting started. And as I always say, be thankful, grateful, and kind. And we'll see you next time. I forgot what I say. The caffeine's kicking out because I stopped drinking caffeine at 2. I love you guys. We'll talk with you soon.